It's Angie from Little Dumplings Nursery, and it is Friday morning, 9:35 p.m. And I am getting ready to do a couple of things today. I'm going to be painting a 7-month baby June kit that I already have a custom order on. She came in yesterday. And I'm also got a vet appointment with my dog at 11 o'clock. And I'm also wanted to show you guys the little Simply baby that I have up for sale right now. So just wanted to do a quick touch base with everyone. I haven't done a little video in a while. Hey, Mandy, thanks for joining us. And hopefully you guys will see this live, but I know a lot of you are at work right now, are busy or whatever. And so if you don't join me now, this will be posted as soon as the video ends on my webpage, and it won't be live for live comments, but you can always ask questions, and I'll be more than glad to answer them as soon as I see them. I hope I've got the coloring right on this. I played with it a little bit on my camera. I'm still trying to learn how to get the video camera to show coloring well. I turned the brightness down a little bit, so I may look a little dark, but I felt like it, at least on my monitor, showed the baby's coloring a little bit better. So let me show you, let me scooch over here. This is the Simply Baby Baby Marissa kit from Bountiful Baby. She is a Bountiful Baby Realborn, and she is currently available. So I wanted to show her to you guys. So here she is. She's a real pinky blushed skin tone is what I gave her. You can see her little cheeks there. She's got a lot of little mottling and blotchiness on her like a newborn baby. There's her arm, the inside of her hand, and her nails. Let's see if I can slide up here where you can see that a little better. Y'all still got kids at school, Mandy? Today's the last day of school here. All right. I don't know that you can really see the nail tips. I don't think it's showing up real well, but at least you can see the blushing on the hands, and you can see a little bit of the veining there. Here's the baby's legs. I'm going to take her little booties off so you can see her feet. Y'all have one more week. Oh my goodness. Hey, Audrey. Thanks for joining me. Okay, let's see if I can get this baby's feet up here. All right, there's the bottom of the feet. There's some veining. Let me pull it back, because when I pull it in too close, the veining looks darker than it actually is. So there. Now you can see in the light it's not quite as dark as it looked up close. I was trying to get it to where I could turn it to where you could see the toenails, but I don't know if you can see them that fine of a detail on my camera. I don't know if it really shows up good. But she does have little nail tips. And then she's got wispy rooted eyelashes. Her hair is painted hair, and it's lightly painted reddish brown. It's a light brown that has a slight reddish tint to it. So there's her hair. Let me bring her back a little bit. When I bring her in closer, the colors look a lot darker. So there you go. Now, to give you a little, let me tilt the camera down just a little bit. My head will be cut off, but you'll be able to see her better. To give you a little information about her outfit, I custom designed this outfit. So the little design on here, I have some vintage children's all occasion cards that I found that actually come from when I was a child, because when I had chicken pox, someone sent me a card from this company with the little puppy dog on it, and I found the box set that has the puppy dog as well as some of the other little animals. So this is the kitten. So I made a print from it that I could do a print to cut decal on my Cricut. And so I print it on the printer, and then cut it with the Cricut, and I use Starcraft, what do you call it? Heat transfer vinyl is what they call it, HTV, to set it to the shirt. This one is the one that's supposed to have some slight stretch. I will say if you stretch it a lot, it can still cause the finish to have a crackled look to it, but then that it doesn't come off or peel off. It's just because of the ribbing in the shirt. So that gives it an even more of a vintage look. So as you wash and wear it. But anyway, so I made the little onesie, and she has little socks that I made to match. So we'll put those on her feet. And and I say she because the kid is a girl. There was a photometric scan of a real baby. Marissa is a girl, but this outfit is gender neutral, really. So this could be a boy if you see it as a boy. That's why I went with something more gender neutral when it comes to the outfit. Here's the hat. Hey Zoe, good morning. Thanks for joining me. So here's the little hat. And then I also did little scratch mitts. There's a little scratch mitts. I'm going to put them on her. I'll show you the baby. She's laying on my lap here. I know she's not showing up on the screen. I'll hold her up just a second. All right, so there she is with the whole outfit on. So when I made and sold I sold some of these outfits. I sold them for $25 a set, and I kept a couple to go on some of my babies. So there she or he is with the outfit on. And as you can see, this baby has movement in the head, just like a real baby. The head is weighted where it flops, and you have to support it. But she's not so floppy that she's just ooshy, but yet she's cuddly, so she moves really well. So there you go. And then I have a pacifier that is one of the safer pacifiers for the older kid collectors, for the older youth that you feel is responsible enough to own a reborn and be safe with their reborn. This pacifier is a good one because the magnet is encapsulated inside and can't be peeled off. And so it fits this baby perfectly. I think I twisted it. I'm looking at it upside down here. There we go. So there's the baby with her pacifier, his pacifier. So now I call this my Simply Baby line. So to give you guys that don't know what is a Simply Baby, and I've got on my computer glasses and I'm getting a little headachy here. Okay, for those of you that don't know what I mean by Simply Baby. So when I make what I call a Simply Baby, first it starts with a kit that runs a little less expensive. So I like to use the Bountiful Baby kits for these because they are not as pricey as the limited edition kits, and so I can get these kits for a little bit less. The other thing is sometimes I use seconds kits, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just a sale kit. And when I get a seconds kit, I make sure it's a kit that doesn't have any noticeable defects, or if it is a slight defect, it is something that can be covered up and corrected or dealt with. This particular kit was a seconds kit, and I did not find any defects in this kit from head to toe. I looked it over, so I don't know what made it seconds, but I could not find any issues with it. The other thing about my Simply Baby Reborns is that I tend to paint them a little less intense. Well, I don't want to say intensely. I tend to paint them a little less 3D. I do more of, like they have modeling and undertones and all that. I don't mean that, but I use a more limited color palette. That's the best way to put it. So like with the Bountiful Baby kits, they start out as such a bland vinyl. So with this one, I used color palette with shades of a peachy blush, and I used a strawberry blush, I believe it was, and a little bit of yellow and some purple and some blue, and then the brown for the hair, and then I used one skin tone color, which was the baby skin pink skin tone color, to use just a light bit of to pull it all together. So those were the only colors I used, and then I applied them in such a way that I gave the baby a good overall finish that has lots of color. She's very pink, very newborn looking, not pink as in hot pink, but I mean, like some babies have yellow skin tone, some babies have olive skin tone, some babies have porcelain skin tone is what I would call it. Some babies have a more ethnic brown skin tone, and some babies have what I call a very newborn pink skin tone, which has that soft pink blushy look, and that's what I would say that she is. So, and then she is sealed with air dry sealers. And I also chose on this particular baby to seal the hair with an air dry sealer, so I did not use any texture genesis on her at all. So this baby is perfect for someone who likes a totally smooth finish. She has a totally soft, smooth finish. And she is very matte. The only place that she that I used that I didn't add extra matting was in the sealer that I put on the hair. So when I sealed the body, the arms and legs and face and everything, and the head before I painted the hair, I used extra matting powder in my air dry sealer so I get a very matte finish, and she is triple sealed. And then when I sealed the hair, I used just the air dry matte varnish. I used actually the golden polymer matte varnish to seal the hair, and it has, after it cures, it has just you can see the light bouncing off of it. It has just a slight bit of sheen to give it that healthy hair look. So that is how this baby was painted. And so this baby is currently available for $299 shipped in the United States. Not shipping out of the USA right now, just have run into some time constraints and whatnot, so I'm not doing that right now. This baby is probably the last one I will offer for sale before I go to IDTS the week of June 17th. If she does not sell before I go to IDTS, she will probably go with me to IDTS and be the only baby on my table under $450. So if you want her now, you better grab her. So there is little baby Marissa. Let me see if I got any questions, and I'll probably have to swap my glasses so I can't see the computer with these. Let's see. What size clothes do you think baby June will wear? That's a good question. She is 19 inches long, so she wears newborn. This onesie outfit that she has on is a Carter's newborn size, and as you can see how it fits her. Let me pull her arm up. It has a little extra length in it, but it's not skin tight, and it's what I call a nice. Personally, I think that's a perfect fit. I don't like my baby's clothes to be real skin tight and stressed and stretched. And that's how it looks in the back. And she could wear newborn size. What do you call them? Lord help me, I can't think. Sleepers. She could wear newborn size sleepers. Her legs and arms are not chubby, and they're not overly skinny, but she's not a chubby baby. So she's, I don't know how to give you a comparison. That's my finger next to her leg. Does that help? So anyway, any other questions? Oh, good, Zoe. Be sure and introduce yourself to me when you come in. I'm at table, oh goodness, I can't even remember my table number. I'll have to go back and look. The table that I'm at, when you come in the door, you go to the left. They're going to be the whole middle section is going to be booths, and then when you come into the show floor, on the right against the wall are going to be tables, and on the left against the wall is going to be tables. And I'm going to be on the left coming in the door, the very first table on the corner there. So that will be me. I think it's 105, but I could be wrong. And you wanted to know about the 7-month June. I'm about to show you that one now. So, okay, so let me go ahead and move on to that. So here, one more time, is little sweet baby Marissa. I'm going to lay her down. I'm going to put on my gloves because this morning I washed baby June, and she's over here on my drying rack drying so that when I get back from the vet, I can start painting her. And I'm painting her for a repeat customer who is going to get her. And then I have actually ordered another kit. This one I will be, this customer actually is a semi-reborner herself, so she knows what she's doing. So I'm sending her just a painted kit, which I don't do that very often, only for repeat customers. But she's going to assemble her baby and figure out what size body she wants. And we'll talk about the body in just a minute. But I have another one on order coming that I'm going to be completing as a completed weighted baby. And if I don't fall in love with it and decide to keep it, I will sell it. And the one thing about using the Bountiful Baby kits is that they're not limited edition, so you can always get them as long as they're in stock. But I do know these bigger babies like this, when they came out with the little boy. He sold out pretty quick. Okay, so here's 7-month June. Here is her head, and she does not have eyes in because I took them out because I had to wash her. So here is her head. Let's see if I can hold it straight. There we go. Now, one thing about the Bountiful Baby Realborns, I'm not holding her very straight. The Realborns, I love them for the fact that they have the realism of being a photometric scan of a real baby. So you got the real proportions of the arms and legs and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, I do not know why, every single open-eyed kit that I have seen that they have done has a deadpan expression that is not, it just doesn't look natural to me at all. And so I typically always like their sleeping babies, and I don't much care for the open-eyed version ones they have done in the Realborns, although I have reborn a few of them because I have some customers that want them. Well, June is, in my opinion, the exception to the rule. She is the first one I have seen that actually has a pleasant expression that doesn't look like a deer in the headlights. So I am happy with that. She has got a big head. Now, let me tilt my camera up. I'm going to hold her head next to mine so that you guys can see. Here's her head, and here's my head. That kid's got a big head. So there is June's head. I think I took a picture and showed it of her next to Marissa, but I will hold it up here so you can see. She's way bigger than Marissa. And I'm trying to think if I don't have a big baby laying around here that I can compare it to. All my babies are pretty well normal size in my own collection. So anyway, there's her big old head. There's her ears. She has a little bit of a pug nose, I think. She uses 24 millimeter eyes. So that's the head. And let me see if I can get these off the rack here. Come on. We'll have to stand up. These are still wet if you see water droplets on them because they're drying. So here is her arms and hands. They have really nice detail. So just to give you an idea, let me lay one down here. This is my hand spread out, and this is her arm. This is sitting her thumb. Does that help you guys know how big it is? I mean, I was like expecting her to be big, but I was not expecting her to be this big. So there's her arm. Let me hold the other arm up and give you another little comparison here. So there's that arm. Maybe that gives you some perspective on how big she is. I'll put her fist in my hand. Okay. Let's see. Here's her big old legs. Now, that is some chunky fat. Let me tell you. Let me lay one of the legs down. So if I take my hand and put it around her thigh, look at that. It will not go all the way around. That's how big it is. If I put it around her knee, see that? If I put her foot in my hand, that's the bottom of my palm. That's how big her foot is. If I go there like that. So you can see that is a really big leg. Really big. Here it is next to my head. Same with the other leg. It's really big. She has little cute feet. Her feet are nice. Fat feet. So there she is. So that's big old baby June. I did not get the Joseph 3-month. I have not reborn that kit, so I don't know how she compares to him. They're supposed to use the same bodies and everything. It looks to me like, looking at pictures of him, that his arms are not quite as big as hers, but that could just be the appearance. I'm not sure. It could just be from the angle that they're showing them that I'm seeing it at. But the bodies, they recommend that if you're going to put the all vinyl torso over her, that you use body number 300. And if you're not going to use the all vinyl torso, but you're going to use the front and back belly plate, then they recommend using body number 8828, which is supposed to be a fuller cut version of the body. My concern is the body looks a little short. And I posted pictures on my webpage of this baby with the body 300, wearing the body 300. And I think it needs to be not only fuller, but a little longer. I did go ahead and order body number 8828 last night since they're on sale. But after I ordered it, I got to thinking I'm not sure it's going to work. I'll post a picture when I get it. But I did talk to someone else who has actually purchased the prototype version of this baby, and she ended up replacing her body. And she told me she put it on a 28-inch body from McPherson's and that it was perfect. Now, there are a couple of things about that and she brought out the point to me that, and she's a seamstress as well as a reborner, so she knows what she's doing, but she brought out the fact that the baby's body should be 1.5 to 2 times the length of its head for the proper proportion. And I think that is true in the case of all reborns. The one thing I do know about baby June is that she was abnormally chunky for her age, and that was and the same with Joseph at 3 months that they did. So that's part of the whole reason I think why they are putting a little bit shorter body on these babies, because they're trying to make them look the way that the real babies looked at that age and that height. So I get that too. So from that standpoint, the 28 or 8828 body may be okay. I do know that we used to have a neighbor that had a baby that was built like that. He was so chubby, chunky. I mean, he was a fat little sumo wrestler looking baby. And then once he started crawling and walking and all that, he slimmed up. And you know, then his proportions looked more like you would expect them to look for his age. So I guess it would depend on the look that you're wanting. If you're wanting to look more like a very, very fat 6 to 7 month baby, then the 8828 body may be fine. If you're wanting a body that looks more proportionate to the size of the limbs and head of the baby, not the age of the baby, then you might want to go with a bigger body. And I haven't decided which way I'm going to go yet. I'll figure that out as I go. But anyway, there she is. And I'm going to swap my glasses here and look at my screen right quick and make sure I don't have any questions, because that's all I had to say for today. Looks like I've answered everything. Let's see. Yes, Zoe, she is definitely a chunk. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That was all I had to share this morning. As I'm getting ready for the show in the next few weeks, you guys know I'll be busy. I'll be working on baby June. I'll be posting pictures of her progress as I go. I'm off from work today, so I'm hoping to get a good bit done on her. And that's pretty much it. So you guys have a fabulous rest of your day, and don't hesitate to drop by and leave me a note. If you're interested in purchasing baby Marissa, shoot me a note, and I'll talk to you guys later.